Hello, grade 7 students. I hope that you're doing great. So we are still talking about what animals eat and the ways they get their food. If you look carefully at the figures in front of you, you will see how different animals feed on different things. We call this an animal's food diet. A food diet is the food eaten by an animal during a certain period of time. If an animal consumes food of plant origin, like the horse right here, like the snail, these animals are called herbivores. If an animal consumes food of animal origin, like the snake right here, the snake is a carnivore. Other animals are called omnivores if they feed on food of both plant and animal origin. In order to obtain its food, an animal or different animals have different feeding behaviors. So carnivores capture their food, herbivores harvest their food, and in order to obtain their food, animals have different feeding behaviors. A feeding behavior is the action that an animal does in order to obtain its food. To recognize their food, animals also use their different senses and different sense organs. Let's look at document A, which shows how different animals use different ways to harvest and to consume their food. In this question, we have to fill in the table. In the table, they are asking us to give the name of the animal and the tool used. Let's start with the first one, with the horse. The horse seizes herbs and snatches them by its teeth. So in order to consume its food, a horse, so I would put the name of the animal right here, a horse uses its teeth. Okay? B. So please, you will need to get your biology copybooks, prepare a new page. This is the title of the lesson. It's activity 4, talking about ways animals capture, harvest, and consume their food. So write the title, capture, harvest, and consumption of food. Then document 1, page 22. Make sure that this is the correct page on your book. And then draw the table. In this table, we are writing the names of the animals and the tools they use. Second one, we're talking about butterflies. A butterfly releases its proboscis to suck nectar. So a butterfly releases its proboscis, which acts like a straw, to suck nectar. So the animal in here is the butterfly. And in order to take the nectar from flowers, the butterfly uses its proboscis. Third, we have a bird. A bird uses its wide beak as a trap to capture a flying insect. Here we have another and a new tool used by a different animal, which is the bird. So the animal in here is bird. What does it use? It uses its beak to capture a flying insect. The fifth animal is the snail. The snail rasps the leaves by its rasping tongue, radula, and cuts the leaves by its hard jaw before swallowing. So in order to rasp leaves, to catch the leaves, or to harvest, let's say, to stick to a leaf, the snail uses its radula or tongue, and to chew them and swallow them, it uses its jaw. So what's the animal in here? It's the snail. The snail has two different tools, one to rasp the leaves and the other one to chew and swallow them. Snail, and I will put tongue and jaw. The last animal, we're talking about a snake. A snake swallows the prey by its mouth without chewing it. So what is the tool used by a snake? Its mouth. If you want, you can add a title to this table saying that a table showing some animals and the tool they use to capture, to harvest, and to consume their food. Document 2, page 22. We're talking about cats. Look now how cats, for different reasons, use different tools. The cat captures its prey with its retractor claws. Look at the claws of the cat. Kills the prey with its sharp fangs. Look at the fangs. And pulls the flesh from the bone using its molar. These are the molar in the back of the teeth of the mouth of a cat. So as you can see, it is one animal with different tools. In order to capture the prey, the cat uses its claws. In order to kill it, they use their fangs. In order to consume it, eat it, to pull the flesh, meat from the bones, they use their molar. So different tools for different reasons. Again, on your copybooks, please draw a table. This is document 2, page 22. So in order to capture or to catch its tool, since the cat is a carnivorous animal, it is a carnivore, it is a predator. What's a predator? It's the animal that catches another animal for food. It catches a prey. What's a prey? The prey is the animal that gets eaten and hunted by another animal. So let's fill in the table. What does the cat use in order to capture its prey? It uses its claws, its retractile claws. To kill the prey, the cat uses its fangs. And in order to consume it, it uses its molar. So you can see how two different kinds of teeth are used by the same animal for different reasons. The fangs are used by the cat to kill the prey, while the molars are used by the cat to consume it, to eat it, to remove meat out of the prey. Okay? Let's move now to application 2, talking about chameleon feeding behavior. So in application 2, we're talking about chameleon feeding behavior. Let me remind you that a feeding behavior is the actions taken by an animal toward obtaining its food. In this question, they're saying that Camel assumed that the chameleon uses its hands to catch the prey. Camel is not sure, but he's assuming that. However, his friend Camellia thought that the chameleon uses its tail to catch the prey. So two friends have two different opinions, and we're not sure which one is correct. So in order to solve this problem, they caught a chameleon, they put it with a fly, with an insect in the same box, and they observed the following. What did they observe? The chameleon sees the prey, it slowly approaches it, and projects its extensible viscous tongue, which extremity, the extremity of the tongue, sticks to the fly. Finally, the tongue, look at the tongue rolls back, carrying the insect into its mouth. Let's first of all pick out the studied hypotheses. What are Camel and Camellia saying about the chameleon capture tool? These are the hypotheses, and we're not sure which one of them is correct. So the chameleon uses its hand to catch the prey. This is Camel's hypothesis. Maybe the chameleon uses its hand to catch the prey. And this is Camelia's hypothesis. Camelia saying that the chameleon uses its tail to catch the prey. For our hypothesis to be correct, we should start with the words hypothesis. We will consider Camel's hypothesis as hypothesis 1. So what is Camel saying? He's saying that the chameleon uses its hands to catch the prey, which is the fly. Hypothesis 2, which is Camelia's hypothesis, the chameleon uses its tail to catch the prey. We should never forget that each time we write a hypothesis, we must start with the word hypothesis, okay? Or the hypothesis will be considered incorrect. Again, Kamil is saying that the chameleon uses its hand to catch the prey. Maybe this is correct, we don't know. And Camelia is saying that the chameleon uses its tail to catch the prey. Referring to the text, list the different stages of the different or of the feeding behavior of the chameleon. طيب, in order to obtain its food, what does a chameleon do? A chameleon sees the prey. The chameleon slowly approaches the prey. It projects its viscous tongue, which extremity sticks to the prey. Finally, the tongue rolls back, taking the insect into the mouth of the chameleon. Okay? We're going to list. List يعني we put them under each other. We're going to list the feeding behavior stages of the chameleon. Let's start with the first one. Okay, the first one, we put the name of the animal we're talking about. The chameleon sees its prey. Second, what does it do? It slowly approaches it. Then it projects its tongue, which extremity, يعني the extremity of the tongue, sticks to the fly or the prey. Then this is finally, the tongue rolls back, carrying the insect or the prey into the chameleon's mouth. We call these the steps or the feeding behavior of the chameleon, which are the actions taken by the chameleon in order to obtain its food. The chameleon is a predator. How do we know? Because the chameleon is hunting. It is catching an animal for food. The fly is the prey. What's a prey? It is the animal consumed and hunted by another animal, and then it is consumed by another animal. هلا in part C, okay? So in part A, we wrote the two hypotheses. In part B, the feeding behavior of the chameleon. In part C, they are asking us about the sense organ. It's the organ then, okay? It's the organ used by the chameleon to detect its prey. How does the chameleon recognize its prey? How does it spot it? Look at the first sentence. The chameleon sees it. So which sense organ is the chameleon using? Yes, it is using its eyes. They are asking us about the sense organ. How did we know? Because in the text they mentioned that the chameleon sees its prey. Okay, so the eyes sense the chameleon sees its prey. Okay, let's move to the last two questions. Part D, classify, not the chameleon, classify the chameleon, not the platypus, yes. Classify the chameleon, so you will need to fix it. We're not talking about the platypus. Classify the chameleon according to its food diet. Classify, يعني we need to justify. So what do you think? Is it carnivore? Is it a carnivore, a herbivore, or an omnivore? أكيد the chameleon is a carnivore. We should أكيد justify since it feeds on food of animal origin such as flies. The kids put the chameleon with the fly in the same box. Indicate the valid hypothesis. Is Camel's hypothesis saying that the chameleon uses its hands to catch its prey correct? Walla Camellia, who's saying that the chameleon uses its tail, is correct. What does the chameleon use? Its tail? Walla its hands? As we saw, the chameleon uses its tongue to catch its prey. So none of the hypotheses is correct. Why? We need to justify. So none of the two hypotheses is correct. As why are we saying that? We need to justify. As the chameleon uses its sticky tongue to catch its prey. So it's not the hands, not the tail, but the tongue. We're done for today. Thank you for joining.